Hey guys, what's happening? So I wanted to just hop on for a second and share a few of my thoughts on Zack Snyder's Justice League. And just to let you guys know off the bat, no spoilers here, so if you haven't seen it, you're safe. But I did want to hop on and give you guys my impressions and really just share my thoughts of us getting this film like at all. But then on top of that, just the idea of the 4-hour film format, which I would like to see more of, whether it be for sequels of this film or other films taking on that type of adaptation. But I'll get to that because I feel like that's a whole topic within itself. But if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to catch the spills every week. And don't forget to hit that bell up top so we can squat up in the comments for the first hour. Alright, so first things first, I just want to make clear that I am not one of the beautiful souls who has been on the internet for the past few years rallying for the Snyder Cut to be released. But for those who did, first I just want to say thank you, because it was that demand that made the re-releasing of this film even possible. And it's also what allowed Zack Snyder to truly release his vision after his tragic loss, which caused him to step away in the first place. And for me, it just really feels like no small feat that the people rallied and just shouted from the internet mountaintops like, hey, we want this film in its entirety, but then also in the way that Zack Snyder intended. And on top of that, with a number of additions that may have made it a better film than what it would have been the first time, but that's one of the things that only Zack Snyder and a few others would know. But to share my impressions on this film, like for one, I very much enjoyed it. And with it being a 4-hour film, yes, that's a lot of time for one movie, but at no point in time during this film did I ever feel like certain things were added in that just didn't need to be there. And surprisingly, certain scenes that I thought would be longer, they were actually made shorter and better. Like for example, some of the scenes with Lois after Superman's death, because in Joss Whedon's version, and I'm trying not to really compare the two, but I'll just say this one thing and just leave it. But in the Justice League, in that scene, I did feel like that dragged out for a bit. But then in comparison with the Snyder Cut, it was shorter and it felt more impactful, mainly because it was allowed the time and the additional narrative and certain things playing out around that moment that felt more organic. But in the grand scope, I truly felt like this film needed to be 4 hours, like it truly did. And if you haven't seen it, you'll understand what I mean when you do, because this time around, throughout the telling of the story of this film, the decisions that these different characters make, they come from a place with more context, and the ideas that come about this time around, they don't feel like they were just slammed in your face. Like this time around, the seeds are planted and they actually make sense. And on top of that, like a lot of the footage that we were missing before, which off the top of my head, the first two I think of, they're like your scenes with either Cyborg or the Flash, which not only played a huge part on why this team came together, but their additional stories made the film in its entirety make more sense, to where as a whole it was more cohesive. And even on top of that, like with the scenes that we had seen before, like when those parts come in, they're still done like a little differently. But even with that being the case, it really just felt more like these scenes were getting put back where they were supposed to be, if that makes any sense. But all in all, there was a lot that happened in this film. It was 4 hours long, and I'm probably about to watch it again like right after doing this video. But I just wanted to chime in, share my thoughts, let you guys know that I enjoyed it, because HBO Max is like, hey, look, you are getting your money's worth this year, because there is so many good films coming out. But aside from that, like the next thing I want to talk about for a little bit is like the score of this film, because with it going back to Junkie XL, it really feels like that was needed for Zack Snyder's vision. And I'm glad that he was brought back, which was probably like the original plan in the first place, because I believe that was how it was supposed to be like in the beginning, because it at least felt that way. And when I say that, it's not to take anything away from Joss Whedon bringing in Danny Elfman, because to be honest with you, I'm glad that we got two films, both with iconic composers, because with Danny Elfman, I got the Batman theme that I wanted, but in this case with Junkie XL, now I got the Man of Steel theme, which I wanted in this film. So I just wanted to mention that and just put that out there. But as far as the whole idea of the 4-hour film, like I put out a tweet earlier today where I talked about the 2-hour film format and how it's really more so designed to put out a film to have more showtimes in theaters, so that way you get more screenings, more people get to see the movie, and box office profits go through the roof. Which is why the majority of films aim for that 2-hour mark. But even with that being the case, I do believe that there's a place for films that have these longer run times. And mainly because we live in a society that is used to binging TV shows or viewing films that exist in some form of a shared universe, to where even when a film is 2 hours, we're truly getting a much longer story. And for me, I believe that the new standard, it needs to adjust to that. And don't take me wrong, like by no means am I saying that every movie now needs to be 4 hours. No, please God, no. But I believe we should have that option in some cases, or in other instances, studios can take the Marvel approach and present feature film quality stretched out throughout the course of a season. But that'll do it for this one, guys. I just wanted to share my thoughts and give some really quick first impressions without spoilers, but if you guys want, we can have like a live stream and talk spoilers, kind of like we used to do once upon a time. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Oh, and aside from that, if you want to talk and get into more details, whether with me or the other spillmongers, I have a Discord channel that is open and available to those discussions right now. So link down below if you can't hold it or you just can't wait, because I look forward to hearing you guys' thoughts as well. And so before we go, I want to give a special shout out to all the patrons. Thank you guys for all of your support. And for anyone who's new here, who wants more information on how to support the channel, I got a link below to where you can go to patreon.com/dopespill. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Just real quick, just want to share some thoughts and extend the invitation. So let me know your thoughts either here in the comments or over on Discord, and we'll do it again on the next one. Alright, later.